Alright, here we have it. Avelorn taking on the Vampire Coast. This is match point for ODM Imperator. If he wins this, it's going to be a 3-1 victory over his opponent, Arkhan the Black. Otherwise, Arkhan is going to be doing his best to bring this back to an ace match. So, let's get into it now that the players have loaded in. Bubblebee, better FPS. You really just have to tweak the graphic settings. Definitely turn off 3D portrait mode. That helps. Don't use ultra unit size. I mean, it's really a tweaking thing. Sorry, I'll try to talk to that more in another stream. But to get to the battle at hand, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spearmen. 1, 2, 3, 4 archers. 1, 2, 3, 4 Lothern Sea Guard. Then we have 1, 2 Illyrian Reavers. And then a third Illyrian Reaver in the back. I lied. So, for the heroes, we have 2 nobles. These nobles are going to be absolutely naked. And then we're going to have Alariel the Radiant. She's going to have Tempest, Star of Avelorn, Earthblood, as well as Shieldstone of Isha, Boon of Isha, Shield of Sapphire, and Life Bloom. I am going to go in here to the sound. I'm going to mute everything. Okay. This is annoying. I really don't know what's going on with the sound here, guys. God, that's so stupid. Why is it doing this? This makes no sense. Just like, oh, yeah, some of the sound works, but you want music and no other sound? Stupid. That's pissing me off. Okay, in any case, let's go ahead and take a look at the Vampire Coast. We're going to have 4 units of Zombie Pirate Deckhand Mob, 4 units of Sirens as well. He's going to have an Air Force with 1, 2, 3, 4 Fellbats. And then he's going to have Luther Arkhan up in the air as well, but more on him later. We have a Carronade, 2 of them. And then we're going to have some Scurvy Dogs in the back line looking like they're looking out for any Vanguard shenanigans, and another one over here on the right flank. And then for the leadership of this army, we have a Vampire Fleet Captain of Vampires. Gonna have Invocation and Heck, Drown Dead, Undeath Resurgent as well. And then we have Luther Harkin with Hornswaggle and nothing else. So, time to see what happens. Obviously, Luther Harkin will have to watch out for those Tempest. But yeah, pretty straightforward army from the from Avelorn. Clearly just going for overwhelming firepower, kill all of the undead things with bows and arrows. So we'll see, and I like Arkhan's build here. It's very clearly a rushy build for the Vampire Coast. He has the cannons to draw the High Elves to him, but then he has the flanks of Sirens to work around the edges and try to just tear out as much High Elf infantry as possible. So only time will tell. There are 5 archers on the field from these High Elf forces, so it's nothing to balk at. These guys can lay down a ton of suppressive fire and really just put in the hurt on top of the Vampire Coast forces. And there goes a first cannon volley, destroying those spearmen. I love it when the final 2, like the finals, is when the sound starts going to shit. Oh, nice breath into the spearman there from Luther Harkin. Archers are going to start firing away at him. Generic archers are coming forward. They're going to start hitting the Zombie Pirate Deckhand Mob, doing quite a lot of damage. Got Illyrian Reavers coming over here, mirroring the movements of Luther Harkin, so if he tries to land, he thinks twice, because obviously you don't want to get caught by 2 nobles. Looks like Illyrian Reavers are getting attacked by Fellbats, an interesting decision. We'll see if they are okay or not. It looks like more Illyrian Reavers are coming over here to help support, but Scurvy Dogs are coming over to attack them as well. So we'll see what happens. Meanwhile, in the frontline engagements, you know, the archers are just kind of shooting away, killing off all of the zombie chaff as quickly as they can. And right now, I wouldn't be surprised to see, well, I guess there's not a ton of archers in range of Luther Harkin, so probably not going to be shooting in a Tempest just yet. But there goes the Tempest. All right. Luther Harkin isn't flying, though. so it's not affecting him, but there's 2 nobles nearby, and he'll probably want to be careful. Taking some significant damage from the archer fire now. Illyrian Reaver's taking some significant damage from these sirens. And meanwhile on the right flank, though, let's see what's happening. Scurvy Dogs just got shattered by the Illyrian Reavers. The High Elf archers are firing away at the Vampire Fleet Captain. It's not the quickest target, so it's going to have a hard time dodging. But those cannons are doing some work, and I would love, and actually I think it needs to happen, is that the High Elves need to send Illyrian Reavers over here to kill the carronades. It will help the balance of power be more in their favor, and it should also prevent them from shooting, these archers over time and getting a lot of value. Meanwhile, in this engagement, Alariel the Radiant and her nobles are doing okay. Alariel does do magical damage, and so does the noble. I mean, everything does magical damage around her because of her area of effect ability, which in my opinion makes these sirens a very dangerous pick, because obviously the magical damage in the area of effect that she gives to all of her units makes her pretty much the perfect general to kill off magical units. Over here, Scurvy Dogs and Fellbats are diving in on top of the Lothran Seaguard. Illyrian Reavers are coming over to help support, diving into the Fellbats, and we'll see if that's going to be enough, but the balance of power is shifting in favor of the High Elves right now, and we're just seeing a lot of damage getting dealt to all of the Vampire Coast forces. And once Alariel and her nobles get over here, I think they'll be in a very strong position. But here comes that Illyrian Reaver Archer I was talking about, coming in to shut down the carronades. And once the carronades are dealt with, that's going to really not only help the balance of power go further and further in favor of the Avelorn, but also just prevent the Vampire Coast from having any units that are really going to be able to pressure these High Elves. 2 of the sirens have already been dealt with. The 2 on this end are doing okay because there's no magic damage to deal with them. And actually, I lied, there's 3 over here, so 1 of the sirens has been dealt with. Luther Harkin about to get Tempested. Boom, there he goes. Tempest in place. And man, a really nice pickup from Arkhan the Black over here, routing these Illyrian Reavers and the Lothran Seaguard and the archers. But yeah, Illyrian Reavers getting a ton of value here, knocking out both of the carronades. Don't think the sirens are going to be able to stop them in time. So, oh, now the magical damage is coming in on top of the Illyrian Reavers, and the sirens are like, oh shit, gotta get out of here, oh my god! And then he'll probably just turn around and kill the cannon from there. Archers are doing their archer thing, but I mean, I have to say the sirens are doing a lot of work. It's balance of power is dead even right now, and we'll see what happens. But I mean, as long as Alariel and the nobles stay safe, I don't really see a way the Vampire Coast could kill them. I mean, Luther Harkin has a lot of bullets to spare, but there's just Scurvy Dogs on the field. And once Alariel and her nobles get over here and start helping the spearmen and everybody in combat against the sirens, it's really going to shift out of favor for the Vampire Coast. So, like, for instance, right here, these guys, Alariel's going to come in, magic damage has been imbued, and now the sirens once again are like, okay, we need to get the hell out of here. The magical damage from Alariel just makes her so devastating to siren builds. But the Vampire Coast under Arkhan is doing a very, very good job here. I mean, look at how many archers are left for the High Elves. Lothran Seaguard, like, all of those guys are just hanging by a thread. Have some archers over here, granted, but now, look at this. Alariel and the nobles may be going after the Vampire Fleet Captain. However, Luther Harkin is coming over here as well. We'll see if Star of Avelorn gets popped. If it does, then they may be okay here, but they should probably pop it now before Luther Harkin gets in here and starts laying down his breaths and getting terror on. Oh, Alariel taking a big hit, Earthblood going down, and I mean, I don't think it's premature for a Star of Avelorn, honestly. My biggest concern here is that if Alariel starts routing, which could be a thing, then, there's no coming back from that. Balance of power is going in favor of the Vampire Coast now, and throw down that Star of Avelorn. There it is. Star of Avelorn has been popped. Luther Harkin is now on the ground in combat with 2 nobles, and Alariel's getting healed up very, like, she's doing a lot better now. And if they turn over here, Maybe chase down this vampire fleet captain, something along those lines. Could be okay. Spearmen do have that magical damage on top of them, which is really helping against the Sirens. I know I keep on beating the dead horse and mentioning that, but that's just one of the many reasons Alarielle is such a powerful lord for the High Elves. That magical area of effect is incredible. And I want to say that is, yeah, Boon of Isha. Immune to psychology, too. That's insanity. Alright, those guys are dead. Nobles look like they're going to start trying to chase down the vampire fleet captain. And the balance of power, once again, is kind of going back and forth. Looks like it's in favor of the High Elves again. Illyrian Reavers going to be diving into them, but they need to be careful. I mean, these guys are going to be really important to the High Elves in the late game. And I just don't want to see them go down needlessly. But looks like Alarielle recognizes that, is coming over to try and help support them. And they're going to get a nice rear charge on top of those Sirens that support those Spearmen. But over here, a Noble coming in to get in combat with the Vampire Fleet Captain. Earthblood being cast, and Arkhan the Black just continuing to shoot Alarielle. And, oh, man. Yeah, Tempest is going down on top of him because he was still technically in the air before he landed. And, I guess we'll see. The Nobles are both going in after Luther Harkin now. But Luther Harkin is continuing to pester Alarielle the Radiant. That was funny. Man, balance power is dead even once again. The the Nobles, yeah, they're chasing Luther Harkin off, and now they just need to turn their attention and kill this Vampire Fleet Captain. If the Vampire Fleet Captain dies, that's kind of the linchpin of this whole army for me. Without Invocation of Nehek to heal up Sirens and Luther Harkin, I know he has passive regeneration, but if they can kill off this Vampire Fleet Captain, which it looks like they may very well do right now. Oh, the slippery son of a bitch. Going to escape. Oh, but archers are shooting at him now? 426 HP. He's crumbling. He's debilitated. Okay, critical binding now, but he's still taking a little bit of damage. There he goes, crumbling again. And, oh, that Vampire Fleet Captain may be knocked out for the count. And, yeah, he's crumbling. He's still crumbling. Losing health more and more. Sirens, these ones are on their last leg. I guess they don't technically have legs since they are just floating ghost. But, oh, Luther Harkin getting some crazy devastating hits in on Alarielle right there. And she is running away for her life. Oh my goodness, Star of Avelorn got popped, and Luther Harkin once again just continuing to chase her. And she is routing now. Oh, but there he goes, taking off up into the air, but the Vampire Fleet Captain is dead as a doornail. He is no longer on the field. However, oh yeah, no, that's the only Siren left. So if there was another Siren left, I think the Vampire Coast could bring this back, because then their ethereal power will really start to shine. But there's still two full health Nobles, and I don't think Luther Harkin will be able to kill both of them by himself. So, time to see what happens. Yeah, Nobles getting on either side of him. Gonna start attacking him. He gets a nice big hit out on top of this one. But, yeah, the other Noble's right behind him, and Luther Harkin gonna try to pull out from there. We'll see if he can win this. Crumbling on top of the Sirens. They're down to 500 HP. Scurvy Dog's coming over here to help out against the Spearmen, and it looks like he may be waiting for a breath to shoot down on top of some of these Nobles. And, yeah, that Noble taking a huge hit from Luther Harkin, and a second hit, and now he's terror routing. The other Noble is still very healthy, though, is getting on top of Luther Harkin, and, oh my god, is Luther Harkin going to do this? Alright, Sirens have gone out of existence. That Noble should probably just try to accompany his companion. But I don't know if he's going to. But it looks like he might give up on that and just come over here to try to kill the Scurvy Dogs. I'm not sure. It's kind of a tough call. Scurvy Dogs are going to be faster than him. But if he can kill them, boom. Alright, those guys are crumbling now. But they still have a lot of HP. That Noble desperately trying to run away. Luther Harkin on the ground, unfortunately, is not going to be able to catch him. So, I mean, I don't know. The crumbling on the Scurvy dogs may be what tips the scale back to the High Elves. If these Scurvy dogs crumble out, then Luther Harkin needs to land and stay landed. Otherwise, he's just screwed. Oh, yeah, they're still crumbling. Yeah, they're losing health really, really quick now. I mean, what does he mean, no chasing? He has to have a unit engaged, so... Alright, Noble is on top of the dogs. Luther Harkin is coming around, and he's going to get a charge on top of the Noble, and it's going to be a very big charge. And oh my god, he did it. Hornswaggle's on top of the Noble, and Vampire Coast wins the day. Goes to show how much I know, guys. I thought that battle was over. Scurvy dogs win the day, and I didn't mean to skip past the battle screen. I'm very sorry, guys. That was my mistake. I wanted to take a look at the kills there, but I saw one of the Scurvy dogs had like 200-something kills. Yeah, chasing routers is attacking. All I was saying is once that unit was off, he needed to keep the Scurvy dogs engaged, and there was only one unit to engage there. I hate VP. Alright, well, it's an ace match, guys, and everybody loves an ace match. Alright, so give me 1 second. I need to go talk about plans tonight, and I will be right back for the final match of the day, everyone. Yeah, that was close as hell. Damn, you know, Arkhan playing that beautifully. He played it very well. Came back. He deserves it. So, Imperator and Arkhan very evenly matched, it seems. So, I'm excited to see what happens next.